Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we are going to be covering over the updated Ancient Box deck. Now, I've previously covered Ancient Box on the channel, and that included both Roaring Moon and Koraidon from Temporal Forces. The deck's evolved a little bit in Japan, and typically lists are now running Flutter main to slow down your opponent and the baby Roaring Moon. Is this the better play? Is this the deck that's going to win EUIC? Well, we'll have to find out. In this video, I'll be sharing over my deck list, and I'm going to be explaining everything that I can about this deck to help you once the set releases, basically when this video is going up. A lot of us Shuffle Squad members are going to be going to Vancouver Regionals, so expect a lot of the deck profile plus gameplay stuff as of next week. Beyond that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's check it out. So this is a list for Baby Roaring Moon with Flutter main, or otherwise known as Ancient Box. Roaring Moon is all about getting those ancient Pokemon into your discard pile, so you can hit for 70 plus 10 for each ancient card in there. It's not just Pokemon, it's also your Sadas, your Explorer's Guidance, etc. You might be noting that we don't play Awakening Drum here, and it's, would you rather do plus 10 in this deck, or would you rather rip your opponent's Pokemon with Prime Catcher? Prime Catcher is typically going to be a little bit better than Awakening Drum, however, it is a potential option. So, as we progress through the game, we're able to kind of slow our opponent down with Flutter main. There's quite a few abilities that we can stop with its ability, and we have 90 damage that it can do on hitting something for 20. Maybe we could set up some knockouts later on, however, it's going to be quite hard to power up this Pokemon because we cannot use Dark Patch. We can use Sadas, and we can attach, so sometimes you might want to light attach so your opponent goes into a knockout on the Flutter main, but you could always next turn go attach plus Sadas if you ever think Flutter main's a great attacker. Roaring Moon EX is quite a strong addition to this deck because we're able to have something that can OHKO the big Pokemon. So think about it like this. Little Roaring Moon knocks out little Pokemon. Pokemon that are not Charizard EX, etc. We're not going to really reach that big boom number, whereas Roaring Moon EX can definitely knock out a strong two-prizer Pokemon with relative ease. We can go over the cards individually one by one, but we'll leave that to the editor, shout out Dom, and we will 100% explore how this deck works. That being said, the list is available in the description if you want to copy and paste it right into any of the available simulators right now, or you could just change up the cards once they are released on PTCG Live as this video is being released. Baby Roaring Moon is going to be the star of the show, and it's really what we're leading up to by getting cards in the discard pile. Now, you might not necessarily always want to discard cards for every other deck, but you could easily chain things up with Earthen Vessel being an ancient card, pitching even like another ancient card, like an unneeded Flutter main from your hand, and you could add plus 20 there. There's a lot of Pokemon that you could knock out with Roaring Moon, and that would be something like Cramorant early game, or maybe even like lifting yourself up until an Arceus V. Like, I haven't really hit this like huge amount of damage with it, but being able to attack as a single prize card Pokemon is quite worthwhile. It does have a second attack, but I don't think I've ever used that in any of the gameplay that I've had, so really we're focusing on that first attack, and we can easily power it up manually with a Dark Energy. We have Professor Sada's Vitality, and we have Dark Patch. Flutter main is really going to be there to slow your opponent down in the early game. Its ability stops other abilities in the active spots, and that's cool enough because there's a lot of abilities that your opponent might want to be using. They might want to be using Comfey's Flower Selecting, or they might just have a powerful ability in the active like Arceus V-Star's Star Birth. As we're kind of building up our bench, getting energies attached, getting ready to drop a Roaring Moon EX at the drop whenever we want to, Flutter main might be worthwhile to attach a singular energy to, so it's not a burden to not attack with. We can't attack with Flutter main in one turn, so you have to pre-plan that one turn by having an energy on it in general, attaching one for your turn, and then playing a Professor Sada's Vitality. You might be able to even take that 90 damage, knock something out, and put 20 something on another Pokemon so you could knock it out later on with Roaring Moon. Planning ahead certainly can help out. Roaring Moon EX really gives us the power to knock out whatever we want. So similar as what I said during the deck list, treat the baby Roaring Moon to knock out all the little stuff or two-shot Pokemon. Roaring Moon EX there can actually knock out a Charizard EX out of nowhere. You might take 200 damage on yourself, but what are they going to do? Just attack back? Really, we have a lot of opportunities when it comes down to attacking with a big Pokemon like this. And of course, we have Ancient Booster Energy Capsule for any of our Roaring Moon, Flutter Mane, or Roaring Moon EX. Radiant Greninja really allows us to get these energies in our discard pile, drawing cards, and we will need those energies in the discard pile to utilize both Professor Sada's Vitality and Dark Patch. We have the new Explorer's Guidance card as well. Explorer's Guidance giving us the opportunity to grab any two cards we need, but the big thing that we want to note is it is an ancient card, meaning we can add those into our discard pile relatively freely just by playing them, and since it's discarding cards from your deck, we can use this kind of as a way to increase our damage output for Baby Roaring Moon. Professor Sada's is very similar. We're not necessarily discarding cards, but every single time we play it, it adds plus 10 to our Baby Roaring Moon. When you use Pal Pad, you can actually reduce your damage, so when you're playing these fantastic supporters of Professor Sada's Vitality and Explorer's Guidance, you do want to keep that in mind. Same thing with Super Rod. If you're trying to grab those Baby Roaring Moons back, make sure that you're doing the right math when it comes to it, because you will reduce when they are out of your discard pile. It might sound like it makes sense now, but when you're playing the game, everything is very difficult to keep track of, because it's not like it's Lost Zone Box where you're keeping track of 4, 7, 10 in your Lost Zone. You might have like 16 ancient cards in your Lost Zone, and you might be on the cusp of a knockout and actually ruin it. We do have some guessing cards here, like Boss's Orders, which we could use to just bring up whatever we want. Obviously, Boss's Orders is going to be played in a lot of decks. And we only play Boss's Orders because we play Pal Pad to get back our other ancient cards so we can power up our Pokemon. That being said, we have Counter Catcher as well, just in case we fall behind. So even if you have a couple turns where Flutter Mane is just getting knocked out, you set up another Flutter Mane, you're building up a board behind, we can often play catch up with our powerful attacks. Prime Catcher is really the star of the show here because it works as not only a switching out, it allows us to ping up whatever we want, and we could have also played a supporter that turn, like Professor Sada's Vitality. A lot of the other cards in the deck are either going to be used to search out Pokemon, like Nest Ball and Ultra Ball, or discard cards, like Trekking Shoes and Earthen Vessel. Earthen Vessel has the benefit of being able to discard other ancient cards, so cards like Ultra Ball, Trekking Shoes, and Earthen Vessel not only can get you to what you want, but it can also increase the amount of ancient Pokemon that you have in your discard pile, or ancient cards in general. The rest of the deck list relatively makes sense, where it's PokéStop trying to rip through. Maybe you can get a Pokégear, maybe that Pokégear gets a Sada's, or it's an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, which we could easily discard to include extra damage to our discard pile, or we could just have more HP. 200 HP single prize card attacker is actually crazy powerful, so when we're going through Roaring Moon, or even a Roaring Moon EX with 290 HP, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule can prevent us from getting that knockout. And if we ever get that 1-2 punch in one of these Pokemon, we might just take the lead in the game. Again, all of the cards available for this Baby Roaring Moon Flutter Mane deck list are available in our description. So copy and paste that however you want, build this deck up in real life, and let us know in the comments what you think about it. And that's what we got going on for this video today. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this. And I mean, again, if you have any comments or anything else, let us know in the comments below. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and we get back to every single comment to some degree. I mean, if your comments, you're just being mean to the Shuffle Squad, maybe you're going to get muted on the Shuffle Squad account. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I appreciate all the love and support from all y'all that have been watching up until this point. And double check to make sure that you've liked this video and subscribed to the channel, because about 50% of y'all have not subscribed to the channel. I know I'm like that, where it's like sometimes I'm just scrolling through TikTok, I'm like, I watch this person every single day, but I have not followed them. really means the world of a difference when it comes to a lot of things. Because sometimes sponsorship opportunities for us is literally just hitting that 20,000 subs. So if you want to help us get to 20,000 subs, repost this video, like your video, tell your friends, double check to see if you're subscribed, all that great stuff. At the time of the creation of this video, I am 1 day before I leave for Vancouver Regionals. It is currently Wednesday, March 20th. So we do post these videos a little bit in advance, getting them ready with our editor. And there's a lot of great content coming out next week. Likely my last deck profile gameplay video that I have, or the last just deck profile video I have, before we have some gameplay next week for myself and the rest of the squad. So with Temporal Forces coming out tomorrow on PTCG Live, be sure to check out ptcglstores.com. Use code TSS5 to save 5% off. Support the squad that way. If you need any of the cards for this set, when the set officially releases on Friday, you can check out Kayfabe and Atlas TCG. All of those are available in the description, along with discounts for most of them. So pick up the cards, support the squad, and we'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out, and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.